Okay, that's Feel Right by Bardot. And yes, we're listening to Bardot again this week because last week we didn't have enough time to listen to their CDs. And I'm bringing the two CDs that I brought last week. So it's their debut album as well as, I'm not sure which album this was. Well, this one is the debut, self titled. And this one is Played Like That. So we'll check later which whether this was the second one or third album. I'm not sure. I can't remember again if they released the third or fourth or whatever. But we're going to learn about them later from Wikipedia as usual. And yes, let me just remind you guys again, we're listening to Aussie artists still. I've still got a lot of Aussie artist CDs in my house. So yes, all the way up until the end of the year. And I actually thought that, I wouldn't have enough Aussie artist CDs, for the whole year starting from the beginning of this year. But I think I've got more than enough for like 2 or 3 years, turns out. Okay, so let's see if I'm gonna continue with Aussie artists next year in 2022. But tonight it's all about Bardot. They're the first pop stars in Australia, but once again we'll learn more about them later. And let's just move on to the next song. But before I move on, let me just point out first though, I was just reading this Played Like That CD and I just realized Sally Polyranus, which was one of the members. Yeah, they're not, like they disbanded already, but like Sally Polyranus, one of the members in Bardot, which I believe was underrated. I think she's talented because I just realized in this album there's quite a number of songs and great songs, not just songs to fill up the CD, but quite good songs. Like the previous one, Feel Good. Feel Right. Sorry about that. Feel Right. Was composed by her as well. Well, co-composed, but still, I like a couple of songs here. She was very much involved in the composition, so that's pretty good. I think she's pretty talented, and she was underrated. I think. I mean, there's a couple of them that went on to become more like more famous. Not saying that they're not talented, but I think Sally Polyranus is just as talented, I guess. So yeah, it's just such a pity that she was underrated in a way, but I guess maybe it's not really her field anyway. I'm not sure what she's doing now, but yeah, so that's about that song that we just listened to just now, Feel Right. That was composed, one of the composers was Sally Polyranus. This girl, actually, I'm showing in YouTube, this one. Yeah, this one, that's right, Sally Polyranus. I think she's Greek Australian, obviously. And if you notice, in this album, there's only 4 of them because Katie Underwood, which is this one here, yeah, she's I was just showing in my YouTube. She left Bardot. Yeah. Okay, now let's just go straight to their first CD, their debut album, the album that they released right after they won Popstars Season 1 in Australia. It's a song, not their debut single. We'll listen to that later. We'll listen to another song first now. It's Higher Than Heaven, taken from the self-titled debut album of Bardot. Still listening to Kumbang Channel, Kumbang Kumpul Bareng Yo.
You take me higher, you take me higher, you take me higher than I've ever been before.
Okay, now it's time for us to learn more about them from Wikipedia. And I just found out, turns out these are the only 2 CDs they've got. So, so they only released 2 CDs. Such a waste though, because actually I think, if I'm not wrong, they were, they were predicted to be Australia's answers for Spice Girls, the UK Spice Girls. So, and they're not that bad, they're pretty good as a group, and if they stay together, they probably could reach to a stage at least near where Spice Girls were, and but yeah, they parted ways just after a couple of years. So let's just read now their history. Bardot were an Australian girl group which formed in 1999 on the Australian reality television series Popstars. So they're the first. Popstars were held a couple of years in Australia, a couple of times, but Bardot was the first one, and I think they're the best also. Aired in early 2000, Popstars attracted high ratings and significant media exposure, resulting in the instant success of Bardot's debut single Poison. And this was like long before, not maybe not that long, but this was definitely before Australian Idols or any idols, so to say. And debut album Bardot, which is this one, right? So I'm gonna play you guys their successful debut single Poison later on, okay? Both of which entered the Australian and New Zealand charts at number 1. In 2001, the group released a second album, which is this one, Played Like That, featuring the top 5 ARIA singles. ASAP, I'll play that one also later. And I Need Somebody also later, before parting ways in early 2002. So yeah, it's such a waste. Originally, when they formed, so the first pop stars in Australia picked 5 girls to be part of Bardot. Actually, I think if I remember, there was another girl. That's right. There was another girl, Chantel Barry, I think. But I think there was some issues going on. I'm not sure what about. But anyway, she was sacked right away just before. I think she got it, and then Chantel Barry got it, but then she was sacked just before Bardot actually released anything. So at the end, the first official members, when they released their first album, was actually Belinda Chappell, Sophie Monk, which is really famous now, Sally Polyronis, that I mentioned, Katie Underwood was also quite famous, and Tiffany Wood. Okay, so let's read further now. Their formation via Popstars. Okay, the members of Bardot were selected on the 7 Network's first series of Popstars, and a talent show which set about producing a 5-piece girl group. The Australian series was only second to the New Zealand version, which produced the group True Bliss. The act would be sponsored by Australia Radio Network, New Idea magazine, and signed to Warner Music Group. In 1999, over 2,500 hopefuls turned up to auditions around the country, which required both singing and dancing experience. The judges consisted of radio broadcaster Jackie O, Warner Music executive Chris Moss, and Grant Thomas management manager Michael Naftali, who would manage the group's career. After numerous elimination rounds, the girls were selected and they moved in together. Controversy occurred, they've got it here, when Barry suddenly departed the group with no public explanation on the program. Rumors in magazines and newspapers suggested that she had been caught stealing items from other members. Okay, that's not good. Anyway, not a good way to start your career in the music industry or any entertainment industry. 6 years later, in 2006, Barry appeared, though, on the program Where Are They Now to speak for the first time over the incident. She stated that she accidentally kept Monk's weekly money allowance with the intention of giving it back to her, but forgot to do this and was therefore removed from the group. Well, not sure if that explanation really did explain the whole thing, but anyway, in a 2017 Women's Day interview, Barry stated that she was paid $1,000 to leave and keep quiet on the matter, and blamed her actions on her youth and naivety. As a result of that departure, judges selected Newcastle singer Tiffany Wood as the 5th member. The name Bardot was chosen by Monk, Sophie Monk that is, after the French actress Bridget Bardot. The program followed the group during its recording sessions, photo music, video shoots, and other promotional commitments such as showcases and in-stores, airing 3 years prior to the first season of Australian Idol. See? So this was before the Idol series. The show was considered a unique and fresh format at that time and attracted on average more than 2.6 million viewers per episode, making it one of the most successful, highest-rating programs of 2000. The series was nominated for Most Popular Reality Program at the 2001 Logie Awards. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Let's just read about their debut single Poison entered the ARIA singles chart at number 1, selling over 60,000 copies in its first week. Okay, so in 2001-2002, Katie Underwood departed from the group. Okay. And she went on to have her own solo, projects, and she was quite well known as well in Australia as a solo artist. And eventually in 2002, April, Bardot announced its decision to split. And yeah, that's it. Okay. Alrighty, they did have a reunion, I think, later years and the 20th anniversary celebrations in April 2020. To commemorate the 20th anniversary of the release of their debut single, 3 of the members, Wood, Underwood, and Chappell, reunited remotely online to perform the song. Okay. In July 2021, an EP of new 2021 remixes was released featuring tracks from the group's debut album. So, never know. Okay, maybe they'll get back together again and they'll release something again. In September 2021, which was last month, it was announced that 2 former members, Katie Underwood and Belinda Chappell, have professionally reunited as a duo under the name Cabal. Okay, with their debut single Broken Hearted to be released October 15th. 2 days ago. Okay, I'll find out about this single. They should just get back together again. I mean, I don't think that's too late. I mean, maybe they can't reach as near Spice Girls as we hoped for back then, but at least I think they can still be somewhere out there. So yeah. Well, hopefully, never know. I mean, it's 2 now, making a duo, so maybe in the future. Okay, that's all about Bardot. And let's. Okay, I promised you guys to play the debut single Poison, but right after this next song, because this next song is a slow song, okay? And they're known for this very popish songs, right? But actually they're quite good as well in singing slow songs. So this next one is Before I Let You Go, and it's a slow song, and I think it's a beautiful song. I love the song, and they sound really good also in this song, okay? But right after Before I Let You Go, I'll play that Poison, okay? So this is Before I Let You Go by Bardot from this CD. And don't go away, continue to listen to Kumbang channel. Kumbang, kumpul bareng yo.